Hey guys, and welcome to the Mysteries of Selindor episode 117. I am your GM Gagnor, and I am bad at recapping. So, Resident Bard Steady, what did we get up to last week?
Oh boy, last week was a doozy, y'all. First of all, Surtur took Mitnir to his inner realm, and there was some talk there about Mitnir's nature, and he's actually like equal parts Bahamut and Tiamat, I guess. And so he's both light and dark or some shit. And Surtur was like, good enough for me, let's travel together. And I'll be your sword, but you can only use me from now on. And Mitnir seemed kind of sad about that.
Yeah, Surtur was like, is Mitnir a nerd? Oh, no, he's only kind of a nerd. I guess it's fine.
That's what I just
Okay.
said. Anyway, in Invaruna's room at the after party, we found ourselves in pitch black again, and the room kind of then lit up to expose Peto Talrain in like a study sort of thing, and we all agreed to sign a contract where we wouldn't oppose each other basically for like the next week, and nobody could talk about what happened in that room to anybody who wasn't in it, on pain of death. So that was a big scary decision, but we learned a whole bunch about Enveruna, and their plan is basically to absorb the powers of the different elder gods, the court of Azathoth, to remove those powers from the chaotic elder gods who have had them for aeons, and put them in the hands of people who can be a little bit more controlled with their application of those powers, for better or worse. And they made a pitch that some of us would actually make good candidates to hold the powers of some of these gods. And is there anything else really, really significant that I'm missing?
Our mother is broken. She probably can't ever be put back together.
They
but
want
maybe
they want the Atlas to make another Unbound Ephemeris, so that they would have enough power to maybe stand against Northot and whatever else they need to stand against. And Peto, this is important. I asked if what's to keep these new beings from becoming tyrants or using their powers for bad, horrible things, and Peto said that he had a failsafe where he could like rein them in or something, which kind of just puts him in charge of all the powers. So that's something to think about. Caldera showed up and said that her father agreed that she could join Enveruna as a spy, since she had been invited to potentially be a vessel herself for the lava god or whatever. And Orin was like, hey, these guys are dangerous. Join if you want to, but maybe don't get caught if you're spying.
And, maybe don't be a spy. Yeah.
Maybe don't be a spy. I visited my mom and told her about Cleary and all the stuff that's been going on, and I think that's about it.
And Caldera took the fracture already.
Yes, she has already taken the fracture, so her ship has sailed, essentially.
She's in.
She's in.
Do we know if those are fractures or are they?
They're far stones,
spheres?
But they function similar to fractures. Was his way of helping us understand what they are.
Not quite. Fractures are fractures. She received a fracture.
Oh, okay.
Far stones are different. They're the fractures of the elder gods that were very, 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 very rare.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So is this sort of like the fracture helps like expose her to the power and like kind of give her like
correct
a taste, like a
well,
safe
first
dose?
Of all, it's like, I don't know if you guys have noticed the influence that the fractures have on your inner realm, but most importantly, it gives access to the entity to your inner realm that you're getting your power from.
Yeah.
So it forms an immediate bond between you and the entity that you have taken, because you are now a part of them is now in you.
Yes.
So what that has done is connect her to whatever eldritch god that was.
It's like there's something seed that needs to be planted before you can have it.
Right. You don't really know much about the Farstones, except for he showed them and said this is like the means by which this plan will work. And that these have been embedded. You noticed in the entities that you've seen with your true sight, Seti, you've seen several of them have stars placed on specific spots of their bodies. You noticed whenever you saw Aldusk, he had them floating around with the undulating spheres in his skull. You could tell there were Farstones in his skull, now that you think about it. And that's why his head is so strange. You noticed that there were like some on the hips and in the chest of the vampire Vespera that you all met. And then, of course, Kieran just had them all over his body. Countless. So those are the Farstones, and you recognize now, thinking back, that you have seen them before.
Okay. So where are we picking up? It was overnight, Sunday night.
As the last thing I remember was that you did your dream spell.
Sure did.
To visit your mother, and otherwise everybody has taken a long rest for the evening.
Ooh, hell yeah.
And you have dreams. A lot of them are chaotic, a lot of them are reminiscent of what you have been through and in reflection of your anxieties, as many dreams are. But nothing notably fantastic happens for any of you. So, as the dawn reaches you, whether through the light in a window, if your dorm room has such a thing, or just the knowledge that you've slept long enough for your body, circadian rhythm brings you to greet the morning. Where is everybody? Where did everybody sleep last night?
Ooh, boy.
And did anybody do the homework of thinking about one fun thing that happened?
No.
Fuck.
Yeah, nobody ever does my homework.
One fun thing that happened.
I liked. Okay, here's mine. Here's the best I can do. Seti did go home with Clary last night after their date. She went by Bropsy's first to pick up her kitten, and she and Clary, back in Clary's room, she had Clary pick out like his favorite book or something and read to her. And so they were kind of just lying in bed. He was reading. The kitten was like romping around, playing, and Seti was making little illusions of whatever was happening in the book for the cat to like chase or interact with.
We just talk about the fact that you're like, so me and Seti went back to my place and we read the Bible.
I hope his favorite book isn't the Bible.
I'm just saying, like, it's just...
the lunar equivalent.
It's like, is it a euphemism? Not in these nerds' case. Nope.
It's a bonding, you know. I'm learning more about how his brain works and what he likes, and we're sharing something he enjoys.
I mean, I was making people into different animals all night, so.
Yep. Did Grim partake of any of the drugs that were being passed around, or did he keep his wits about him and he was like the sober?
He tried to keep his wits about, and he was getting a little bit of a contact high, but trying to maintain his sobriety as much as possible.
Right. Yeah, so you witness things at that party that you can never unsee.
Yeah, it's probably pretty bad.
Grim, in his time as a furbolg, has probably never witnessed some of the debauchery that had happened in the previous night. Nor does he probably have any desire to see anything like it again. But it's in there forever.
That cat is out cold.
Yeah.
Once everybody finally settles down, he's gonna go just sleep in the dirt upstairs in the mushrooms. But probably be a while.
Yep. So you find rest in the mushroom, sort of near the time where dawn would be, and then have enough hours of rest to get your long rest. It's fine. But you definitely sleep in today. Yeah.
That's typical of Grim, but
what about Oren? What did you do?
Honestly, I'm not sure what Oren would have done with all that's been going on. I think he's just taking some time to himself because it's been crazy. It's been a crazy week.
Just like spend some time pensively, kind of like the guy who's just kind of bobbing in the corner while everybody's dancing. Did his rounds and then probably head back to his room and then face planted and just slept. Right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Because you've been burning the midnight oil every night, working on the things and then doing the competitions and all the chaos that's been going on. You never took a break during that week. So this is your first real rest, and you sleep so hard you don't even dream. You just sleep like a rock.
It's like a coma.
Mitnir, where were you up to?
I'd assume after his high kind of wore off, so he could leave the Feywild's room. He probably just like partied. Was probably just the whole, dance, food, drink, whatever, and then was like pass out time and just thud.
There was definitely, like, as you were running around this party, you had one person with you the entire time, just egging you on, and that would be Surtur, the blade that you had with you during the party, the entire time, and he was just like, "These fools think they can outdrink you. You are now my wielder. None can be more powerful than you in any competition. Quick, down that alcohol."
And in this scenario, there was no reason. It was just like, party!
Got a built-in hype man.
There was one point where he's like, "Pour that alcohol upon my blade. The steam will let you inhale it. It will make you more powerful." It's just just trying to party in his own way, trying to enjoy the frivolity of the evening. Bropsy, what'd you get up to? And where did you rest?
Me?
Yes.
I think Bropsy would have dipped out of the parties early, like after everyone split up to do their own thing. I think she just would have gone to bed and just snuggled the babies.
Yeah, at some point, City would have shown up and gotten her kitten from you.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, probably just have a quiet evening in.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a little loud. There's some partying going on. You hear the sounds of wild animals just going nuts as they have this crazy party. But you still just the sound of the purring and cooing is enough to put your heart and your mind at ease as you find rest. So the next day comes. What would everybody like to do?
Meet for breakfast?
Yeah.
Breakfast room?
We haven't done that in a
while. As you guys go down, like, do we meet at the breakfast room? Is anybody just heading there? Or does anybody want to contact each other? What do you want to do with that?
Oren will just head there.
Yeah.
Right, so Oren, you head to that room, and when you get there, you see the University of Phoenix hall that has not changed, and that was the hall that you have spent every day meeting for breakfast, and yet there are still people in that room, passed out and strewn across the floor. There's one guy just bare ass naked, his face planted into what appears to have been some sort of student project that was made. As you remember, the room for the University of Phoenix was like a display of all the students' like little art projects, or some of them weren't creations of arcane nature, or just theorems and stuff like that. You see that somebody made what appeared to have been like a glass bowl that was shaped and etched with aquam. And it was like just like an aquam workshop sort of thing. And there's a guy just passed out face down, just the thing half filled with vomit. Like it is a mess in here.
So no breakfast room.
Guess we'll just look for a table or something like we did when we first got here.
Yeah.
So you go back into the
there, obviously.
So you begin like searching around the area, just like, all right, walking through the main section, and it is just strewn with both drunk people that are either just collapsed on the floor or are walking and like being carried, some of them out of the banquet hall and to a better place to rest. But yeah, it's a mess in here. You can definitely see that there are some tables that were at one point buffet tables, so you're able to like clear like a section of it off and just like push the things to the side. You can see that there are like a couple of cleaners that have begun cleaning the area. Just a couple of the monodrones are doing it, but even they look like they've had a party or something. They're just like, just like slowly dragging things and trying to move things.
All the modrons are hungover.
Yeah, the modrons themselves like look like they've also been partying.
If I see Seti, hey, let's just camp out somewhere.
I think Seti might have a late start to the day.
Especially since when you wake up, you find yourself in the long, gangly blue arms of Cleary.
I don't think any of us are getting up super early today.
Yeah, yeah. So I imagine that Seti stays in bed for a while, like snuggled in the covers and like not wanting to get up. And maybe the kitten's still running around, like scampering across her face and like trying to play with her feet and like making a ruckus. So eventually she's like, all right, fine. The cat needs fed. And we'll use her.
Yeah, before you guys have the time to get up and before you're ready to get the cat fed, there's this moment where Cleary's just like, Crumbles, cat. And you see his sentient art book begins just fluttering around the room and turns into a bunch of paper mice that begin running around on the ground, and the cat's chasing them around the room.
Oh, thank God. So that'll buy them some more time to just stay in bed.
They continue to canoodle.
At some point,
Oren will probably be the first one out, so he'll just camp out by the fountain area, I guess, and wait till he sees people.
Cool, yeah. So you can just camp out there. The water in the fountain is no longer the color of water, but there is a single modron that is sitting in it, and you can tell his body has a filter system, and he just reading a newspaper, and he's like, hey. Filtering the fountain. He's like, nasty individuals.
Oh no, Discord broke. Hang on.
No.
I think I can fix things. Okay. We should be good. Carry on.
All right. So you're sitting there waiting by the fountain. It's probably a minute before certainly before Seti shows up. Mitnir, you're maybe a Constitution saving throw.
Oren will just be doing morning stretches.
17.
17? You are hungover, sir.
Not surprised I rolled a 5.
Yeah, you drank all of the alcohol. And this was after you spent some time not knowing the lingering effects of the room of drugs that you had spent some time in hallucinating. So your body has been through the ringer, and you're also having a little bit of a late start.
I walk out of the dining hall.
He's still in the dining hall. Actually, yeah. So when you're walking around looking for a place to sit, and then right before you leave, you see Mitnir just crawl out from under what appears to be just a fort he had made for himself out of just tables and chairs and shit, and just comes crawling out of it, and you just see Mitnir the most fucked you've ever seen him.
Just it's bright. Why is it so bright?
It's dim as fuck too.
Just puts my hand up at Aaron.
I am bright. Yeah, don't look directly at the Oren. I'm just chilling here until people will get up. I don't know.
Next to him on the fountain, just
Robsy, where are you headed when you wake up?
Down to where I assume everyone is.
All right, so Bropsy does come in around before you've moved on or had time to go sit by the fountain to wait for everybody else. It appears that Grim and Seti are and if you're counting them, Cleary are the late ones. showing up to this meeting. So Bropsy comes flitting into the room, and Bropsy, you just see a big old mess. I don't know how Bropsy feels about messes and like cleaning up after people, but it's oof. It is a time.
I ain't doing it.
That's what the Modron are for. Don't worry.
Well,
about
you see Mitnir and Orin, and they are sitting at a section of the table that they have just like slightly cleaned off. Mitnir's face is probably on the table, but they are there. You have two of them. If there's anything you would like to do or discuss,
everyone have a good sleep.
Huh?
Oh, I know you did. Oh yeah, that was one of the best sleeps I've had in weeks, I think.
I don't remember last night.
Probably for the best.
Sorry, I am back. I don't know about you guys, but I'm still exhausted.
Mitnir's head doesn't even come off the table and just like looks at you.
I'm quite refreshed today.
Glad someone is, I guess.
Seti like rounds the corner into the room or like the door and sees the mess and like the smell and like turns around and leaves. And she'll just be like shouting back at you guys, "Come on! We're not doing this in here."
I am wondering what happened with the invention of what mass prestidigitate for cleaning, and
everyone
no
who
one's
knows
used it.
Everyone who knows it is passed out right now.
There hasn't been a class on that spell yet. You gotta learn it.
There are like 3 people that know it.
You needed gag.
Sorry, all the people within a 10-mile, all the wizards within a 10-mile radius are unconscious. So. I mean, there's probably like a couple of nerds who didn't have anybody to party with that night before that are like maybe starting to rustle awake at this point, but pretty much just people from like Silverwind. But even them, they're mostly still partying. Those with the high enough constitution to still be okay after the night before. Everybody else
try to follow Seti. Mitnir's just gonna drape himself over Orin.
So. Where are you guys going then? If you're not gonna talk there, where you take them, Seti?
Back to Cleary's room.
Okay, so you guys show up in Cleary's room, where it smells like sex. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't be gross.
If somebody calls Grim, he'll go there too.
Yeah.
You guys call Grim?
Yep.
Yeah, Grim, you get a call on your seal. You are easily able to make your way over there, if not desiring to do so for several minutes.
No, Grim will be there. Grim's up late making animals.
Yep.
No questions asked.
As we all yawn IRL.
So it's not but a few more minutes, and you guys all find yourselves in the University of Phoenix dorm rooms, the nicest one, which is Cleary Essentoff's room. You all find yourselves in your, at this point, familiar positions where you are all comfortable sitting within his space, as you all have been here so many times now.
Mm-hmm.
You've kind of found a comfortable spot, like maybe somebody sits by the window, or somebody's, a couple people get up on the bed, but it's pretty easy for you guys to find your space here. And
I'm so
Cleary
tired.
begins weaving wards around the room, and he's like, "Oh yes, let's get this started."
Well, hang on. I have sorry, I'm still waking up. Really just wish I could have slept forever, but...
Yes, everybody's tired. Nobody say anything stupid. Just remember to not say anything stupid.
Right. Yes. Right. So I have a thing. It's ready. I've been working on it, like, since before the Cauldron of Strife. There was a lot of math involved.
What is this? Nothing.
What?
Sorry. No, nothing. I remember your math. Sorry. Go ahead.
It was a surprise, and I feel like we've earned it, and it's as ready as it's going to be. So, if you guys don't mind taking a bit of time this morning, I think we could all use some happy, right? Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to, like, Cleary's door is shut. We're on the inside of his room, but over the doorway, I am going to draw spell forms, and I'll be humming some tune to kind of like draw the weave in with my voice, and as I finish it, a portal opens up on the back of the door, and I kind of stand back and like, okay, now look, it was a lot of work. It was really hard math. Not my strong suit, but anyway. But if you don't like it, if something's wrong, let me know and I'll fix it. It won't be that hard. Okay? The structure's there. Everything else is just icing on the cake. So...
City, have you developed a demiplane?
Yes, I have.
And it's filled with cake?
I remember we were talking about the math months ago.
As a theory. As something I was learning.
I can't believe you actually did it. That's incredible.
Yes.
It takes a lot of work to create a demiplane. That's...
Yep.
Wow. And he just looks at his eyes are sparkling.
Yes, well, it was a lot of work and very stressful, and hopefully it was all worth it because you all love it so much, but no pressure. Okay.
So how do you want to do this, babe?
Should I go first? And, well, fuck it, and she'll walk through.
I don't understand what's happening.
Cleary walks in right behind you.
I'm going to do a couple of things on my end real quick.
Yeah, so if you guys want to enter her demiplane.
Okay.
Not a euphemism.
There we go.
Do you want to enter my demiplane?
I'm now sharing my screen so we can do a little tour of the mystical mansion spell that Seti.
Yes, and she made it in The Sims.
I built it in The Sims because I'm a Simser.
And she's had this made guides for like
I built this in October of last year.
So a year. Yeah. She's had this built for a year.
And there are also pictures of each of the areas in the Notion board that you guys should all have access to. But we can figure that out later if you need help. So as you walk through the portal, you get dumped through this portal here. Oh my god.
I do want to note that I have both my kitten and Azurus with me because I did not want to leave them.
Sure, absolutely. Sure. That's fine. So you get dumped through this portal here onto like... Oops.
I feel like everybody's so much brighter now because the game's so bright.
Hang on, it's been a while since I played The Sims. I'm trying to remember the camera controls. Onto like this walkway where there's a lake in front of it. Everything's very like...
Can you make it so that it's like active instead of the inactive?
I would have to do that in live mode, and I don't have that set up. So no.
Oh, okay.
No, I can't. Not right now.
Because it sucks that the water is just like, there's things in here that move.
There are fireflies that, light things up and stuff. So yeah, you can go either way up to one of these little gazebos to the main entrance, which has these double wide stairs. And then there's another like swimming lake behind the stairs that forms into this waterfall down here.
Not that we can see it. But it's okay.
I'm kind of trying to hover the cursor over the important stuff as I'm pointing it out. But first things first, we're gonna go left before we go into the main building.
Yeah. So imagine you've just stepped into this space, by the way, before she continues to show you around you. Imagine you are in this space. Because you are.
As soon as you come through the portal, first thing you see is that waterfall coming down.
Is it as bright as it is here? Is it like?
Yeah, it's like a nice spring day. The weather's
so you step out, and now it's actually bright, Mitnir.
Stumbles forward to the waterfall. First thing's just like.
Yeah, you just
you can feel the mist.
Make a Constitution saving throw to see if you hurl chunks into the
22.
22. You don't. You do see fish at the bottom of the water that are swimming around. I'm not sure if Mitnir knows what's going on, if he understands demiplanes, but the fact that she has like what appears to be living creatures like swimming in the water is pretty impressive.
She just delivered me to a shower. He is standing under the waterfall.
So he's just waded across the lake there into the waterfall.
Yeah, cool.
I mean,
Rhapsody's eyes are wide and she just goes, "Oh my God, Seppi, you made all this?"
Yep, this is just the entrance, so buckle up. There's a lot to get through, actually, so maybe you could take a shower later.
Stumbles out of it.
Clear is just like, look at this column. Oh my God.
the architecture, it's very classical Elvish.
Yeah.
But there are intricate, like there's a lot of sculptures on everything, obviously lots of plants.
Yeah. He's looking at your sculptures and he's not grading them, but he's like observing them and like giving them like
they're definitely based on like the sculptures I've seen like along the paths when he was pointing all those out. Sculptures I've seen around the city, and maybe somewhere a sculpture based on the one he did of me.
Maybe.
But
maybe.
Anyway, first things first, before you even have to enter the main house, you can go along this other walkway right here from one of the gazebos into, it looks kind of like a guard tower or a beacon tower. But there's like an access hatch. This would be a ramp in our game. Down a couple of levels underground.
Ooh.
Oh, even further than that. And we'd find ourselves in this like dirt hallway with these glowing mushrooms and fungi and mosses.
This is the best part of the whole thing.
It's wide enough.
Yeah, she's showing first Grimm's place, which I was like, that's the most exciting bit.
Well, you don't even have to go into the main house to get to Grimm's place. So
yeah,
this is where Grimm stays.
Yeah, so Grimm,
I figure this is where we lose Grimm on the tour.
There's like a sign that just points down that says Grimm's.
I think that's fitting because on stream we're kind of borked, so Grimm isn't there.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to fix this one. There are two Bropsies but no Grimm. I could fix that, but it might take a second, so I don't know.
I could just remove my PNG thing.
I don't think that's a problem.
It's fine. Grimm is busy getting mushrooms.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just keep going, babe. Just keep showing.
All right, so down this hallway, which is wide enough for Ernie, you come to a earthy room. I can't back out any more than that. It's kind of borked because of all the architecture around it.
And guys, it looks so much better than this in live mode.
Oh well, let's turn off the grid.
It looks so good because there's like stuff floating in the air and.
Yeah, so there's a little before you get to the bridge to cross the little underground river, which also has mushrooms and crystals and stuff in it. There's a place for like any critters you want to keep. Big house for Ernie, like mud pen, muddy ground for him to roll around in. That's just like your critter side. And then across the river, there's an alchemy cauldron, a little seating area by the river, also made of mushrooms and stumps and stuff. An alchemy workbench.
Do we have gardening areas too somewhere?
Yes, we do. There is room for gardening in here, to a very small extent. And then, of course, a bed and a very rustic bathroom.
So Grim can
all
clean
your
himself
The
a
bath is
little.
never going to get used.
Well, everyone poops, so.
Yeah, Grim still
No, I
goes
said the
to the bathroom.
bathtub.
He just
Oh, the
doesn't-
bathtub. Yeah, I thought you said the whole room.
He goes to the bathroom, but he uses it as fertilizer.
The
so.
bathtub, you could use it to like wash your gardening tools.
Yeah,
if you
Grim
need
just
to-
Grim composts. Okay, it's fine.
So yeah, that's Grim's little section,
Nice.
and then we go back up to. So
Grim can go foraging in the forest.
Yep. So that goes over to his place. Let's go to go following how people would walk. So main building.
So do we lose Grim there? Is he just like, this is home now? Is he?
No, he'll
What
come
is
back
Grim up
up.
to? Okay.
He'll come back up. He'll linger, but he'll follow.
Yeah, we'll let you get your fill of the room, and yeah, the only other way to go from there is up the main floor.
He might roll around in the dirt for a bit.
Yeah,
Nice.
just get some demi-plane dirt on him.
Yeah, just kind of, well, maybe put his like smell on it a little bit.
Yeah. Mark your territory. So the main entrance, the first floor, is basically a catch-all. You can walk in from your adventure and sit down and have a meal or a drink at the table. You can sit down in front of the fireplace and reflect or
Like the
talk.
kegs from Mitnir.
Maybe wait a bit before you move it.
Definitely
more.
kegs.
Just let it sit so it can like
Am I-
render for us.
Okay. Sorry,
You're
I didn't
moving
know.
a little too much, so it just gets so pixelated as you move it.
I
so we
I
don't get a
am
chance
watching
to-
on stream because it's clear in Discord.
Oh, I'm gonna watch stream too then.
It's a little smaller, but it's functionally better.
Okay, hang on. I gotta. Okay. So, yes, table, seating area.
Oh, I like
fireplace.
so much better.
Behind the fireplace, behind the staircase, there is like study nooks, for taking notes or reading up on stuff. The windows look out over the grounds. And then back this way, we have a couch to lounge on. You're exhausted after an adventure. We can all just become couch potatoes.
Is that a fire pit table?
It is a fire pit table, yes.
Nice.
And then this walkway leads out to a balcony. Or no, not really a balcony, just a walkway. Never mind.
It looks so much better on stream. My goodness.
This is Bropsy's tower.
Oh.
So we'll maybe zoom out a bit and get a full view. Well, it's like on the water, but there's several levels of water. Where it looks down on this other kind of like river running below, which is the one that Mitnir was taking a shower in a second ago.
Yep.
So the main floor is just living area with like a cat tree and dining space.
I love that I now have a use for it. You put that cat tree in a year ago.
I sure did, but lo and behold, you got a cat. So above that, there's supposed to be a staircase going up, but it keeps deleting itself, so we'll pretend it's there. Above that is your bathroom with a nice big bird bath.
I hope that entire room is waterproof because she's going to do like the bird bathing where she splashes
Oh,
it
yeah,
everywhere.
absolutely. Yeah, I got you, girl.
Okay.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice,
big, luxurious. And then below, down on the bottom floor, at level with the water outside, is the bedroom, which has some seating and entertaining areas as well.
And
a little bit more intimacy.
strangely, a bunch of birdhouses.
Well, yeah, like knickknacks for whatever various pets you might pick up.
Yeah, just little birdhouses.
We'll pretend there's like a large pet bed here for Azuros under the stairs.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's very pretty.
So Seti does.
Next one.
She's been like walking everyone through everything with like an air of like, and I thought maybe this would be useful, but if it's not, don't just let me know. I'll take it out, and I can change the color or the plants. She's clearly very insecure and is like burning off all of her nervous energy.
While you're rambling, Bropsy's just gonna turn and hug you.
She's like, or that, okay.
Perfect.
All right. Cool, good, right.
Next room.
Good then. Okay, so going back here, we'll just go downstairs real quick. This is the pool room.
Yeah, see, that's the pool you can go swim in.
Well, there's a pool for swimming, but then there's also a little ladder here to go out and swim in the lake that's above the waterfall.
There you go. So Mitnir finally comes in through that ladder, which he has found, missing the first 2 sections of the tour.
So there's a balcony here for like, it's got like massage tables on it. Obviously another like lounge area. And then this balcony over here has...
babe, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but did they see any entities moving around this space?
Well, I was kind of going to get to that at some point. There are... Those of you familiar with the spell know that the house comes with unseen servants to basically do your bidding and do everything that needs done around the house. And Seti's unseen servants are pretty much unseen. There's little flutters of like butterfly wings that you can maybe catch in your peripheral, like moving throughout the grounds in the house. And they seem to be just kind of like present and hovering, but they're not like obtrusive, they're not obvious. And if Mitnir comes in with wet feet from being in the waterfall outside, we might look behind us and see that some of these sort of transparent butterflies have been flitting around the water, and then the watery footprints that he tracked in are gone as they flutter off, cleaning up behind him.
I'm just not wet. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this is what Grim was asking about. From the pool floor, you can go across this bridge into the greenhouse.
There you go. All your alchemical ingredients can be grown there.
There they go.
The ones that don't grow underground anyways.
This is also on level with the water.
Not just drugs.
And has an outdoor balcony as well. And a pretty glass roof with more plants on it.
I mean, Cleary's just like freaking out over everything. He's like, "This is incredible, city! Oh my goodness! Look at these! Look at those! Woo!" Just flying around the room, like barely touching the ground with his feet. He's so excited.
Real kid in a candy shop vibes. Okay, main building has one more floor up at the top, and it is the kitchen dining hall. So you come up those stairs. You get another nice dining area
with a giant portrait of Seti.
Hang on.
I'm just kidding.
And then a kitchen area that I don't know that any of us will ever use, but the unseen servants certainly will. And the balcony out here is kind of like intimate dining space if you wanted to have like a date night or a private conversation. And then the other
10 feet away from another private conversation.
Sure. The other balcony is like kind of like a smoking. It's got like hookahs and stuff, and pillow cushions, and a roof garden.
Robsy's absolutely gonna like flit out one of those windows and just perch in all the plants, right on the edge.
So, due to the limitations of the spell, not all of the outdoor space is space you can tramp around in. A lot of it's just an illusion you see out the window, basically. But the rooftop gardens are accessible for sure.
Yeah, it's just the stuff like the actual trees surrounding the place that aren't real.
Okay, that's the main building. So from the main level, no, we'll go to the pool level first. From the pool level, there's stairs down over. This is another like sunken lake. And it leads to a walkway with lots of vegetation. And going right from there, going through these doors, you come into Mitnir's tower with a practice room, training, lots of swords and weapons in this room, lots of space to brawl, and that's basically it. But
that's the floor, like.
I mean, there's some water and a sponge and towels, like.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff over here that Mitnir's never gonna use.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you go up a floor, you get to his lounge area with plenty of alcohol, another little smoking session, like implement.
Which is now probably filled with that stuff from the party, right?
And a wood-burning fireplace. And then up one more level is his bedroom. Another fireplace, kind of like rustic cave vibes. And a bathroom as well.
Wait,
Lots
so
of
all this
fur on the
space is
ground.
for me?
This is all yours, Mitnir, to do with whatever you want. This whole tower.
There's those little cushion chairs too. Like you look over and you see like these chairs that are just like these little papasan chairs. Little puffs of comfy.
So yours is also
Minier's
on the
never
water.
seen anything like that in his life.
Yeah,
like,
he's
what
floored
is
that
this?
there's this much floor space, for him. Used to like inns and stuff where you've got like 3 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plenty of space. I mean, other people might want to use the training room as well, but it's in your tower, so your space. I hope you like it. I thought it was
He's just
nice
kind of
and
like
cozy.
he's nodding. He's still hungover, but he's just like, yeah.
All right. Well, we can't leave out Orin. So, Orin, instead of a training room, you got a meditation room with lots of plants and waterfalls for the atmosphere. You can hear the water trickling and rushing. And
Yeah, and the second you step into it, like you can feel like your ki like swelling. It feels like such a good space to like. It feels like such a good space to meditate. The second like you walk in there, like you can just feel like your energy just like calming and like centering. It feels like a very good meditation space. Probably a good place to recover your key points.
Well, above that, there's a full crafting. Like everything you could possibly want to craft is in this chamber.
So you didn't need a win. You got a private workshop.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you that it was okay that you have to share the one you won because you've got your own private one here. And again, if there's anything I need to add to it.
It's way smaller than the one that you had before that the other one won, but it is well equipped.
I didn't win for the crafting shop, so it's fine.
All right, well. Here's your bedroom.
This is great.
Your bedroom is very similar to Mitnir's, except the color scheme is like the exact opposite.
It is also very reminiscent of the room that you have in the High Realm Academy.
Some seating. I could add like a table up here if you wanted to entertain Caldera for like a meal, and the bathroom. The bathrooms, both Mitnir and Orange, it's like a double. The ceiling is
it's
very
super high.
So
which
lots
is
of
awesome.
windows.
Like 20-foot ceiling, your own little tower to bathe in.
And that one's also on the water on that side, but then on this side there's a huge drop off to another sunken lake down here with waterfalls, cascading down from the tower. And that's
very cool.
That's everybody except this building here at the back. So that one is accessed from the main floor, right? Yes. Just a walkway across as well. And then you come to a foyer with seating. And yes, Gagnor, I think at this point, those of you with decent passive perceptions have noticed that every picture you have seen on the wall is a picture of Seti in some kind of heroic pose.
Yeah. I've been noticing all the portraits of ladies all over the house. I'm like, that's got to be just Seti going.
Yeah, there's one where she's like a centaur, like a majestic horse painting, but it's Seti as a centaur with like a spear and like
Seti the Riveter.
Yeah. It's her little joke. So down these stairs, you come to the upper level of the library with is just full of books. There's little seating areas by the stairs, and across from the stairs there's a balcony with some like chess table. Oh no, one of the chairs vanished. One of the chairs deleted itself, but it's
gotta play alone.
But it looks out over the cliffs and the sunken lake below, and there's a waterfall below as well. These cliffs took forever to build.
Ran out of magic. Chair didn't make it.
Yeah, they delete themselves a lot. All right. So that's the top level of the library. The bottom level of the library is kind of more like cozy, intimate. Got a fireplace, reading nook, some study tables, desks in the corners of the stacks, antique displays, lots of bookcases. And then behind these bookcases, there's a hallway for like relics, like more like stuff that would be more like secure or like
need
private.
To be hidden.
I mean, this is a plane that we only we have access to, so I don't necessarily need to hide anything, but you can if you want to.
Just in case somebody ever got in your demiplane, there's your hidden reliquary.
And then within the hidden reliquary, there is another hidden doorway that leads into a little closet where you can go down into a sort of, this is essentially our like ritual chamber or apperception chamber. It's a place where you can experiment with spells without damaging anything. You could cast illusions in here. It's like an Imaginarium sort of thing. If you wanted to visit Mars, you could make it look like Mars. Just hang out. And it's also a room where if you're talking in here, nobody can hear you outside, or vice versa. If you're in this room, you can't hear anything from outside either.
It's a dreamatorium.
Dreamatorium. That's the word I was looking for. It's a dreamatorium. All right, we're almost done. Back up on the top floor where the foyer is. This is where Seti's like, she'll go over to this room on the right, and she'll be like, and this one's mine if anybody wants to see. It's, very purple, and yep, lots of purple. Hangout seating.
It's very nice. I'm impressed. I think this is so delicate. Oh, I love these purple flowers outside. They work so beautifully with your whole aesthetic. Oh, so good.
Yep, I like purple. I thought this was nice, and you can see all the lake from here and like a cave, and I could wave to Mitnir while he's pooping, apparently. I can see right into Mitnir's toilet.
If that's your choice, then good. Awesome.
Sorry, Mitnir, I didn't think about that before, but look, your toilet's right there. My bad.
Gotta keep an eye on him, I guess.
In case you get stuck, you can signal me. If you need toilet paper.
The mentioned door right in there if you need to.
And then and this is where she kind of like stops. There's going out onto the balcony here. She'll kind of like, the tour will go across this balcony that looks out over the water again. And as they get to the other side of it, she'll be like, so, I was working on this back in the Cauldron of Strife before I found out everything I found out, and I wasn't sure. I couldn't ever really bring myself to change it. I wasn't really sure if I should or how I should, and honestly, it just seemed like so much work to undo what I'd already done, and so everything's just as it was then, and I hope you like it. If it's too intimate or not intimate of it, I mean, we're sharing a balcony, but that's.
Larry's now counted the people and figured out what's going on. He's like, oh, me. Oh.
I mean,
right next to your room. That's
like
awesome.
I said. Okay, yeah, I didn't want to assume though, but okay, good. Well,
yes. I mean, I think it's good that we have separate spaces, but also close. I think that's about appropriate for. He looks around at everybody else. Yep.
See, look, you can see Arn pooping.
Yeah. Yes. Cleary can see Orin pooping from his balcony.
He says, well, at least I won that lottery.
All right, so
No
his
one
room's
can see Grim pooping.
very, very blue. There's art stuff, art supplies, easels, canvases,
These are
clay,
wonderful.
sculpting, areas. He's got a balcony built more for like dining, but
Very nice.
very similar view.
I like how the easel is on the balcony. He's gonna paint Orin on the can.
Yep.
Or maybe it blocks the view. That's there to just block the view. And then Seti and Claire,
Orin, don't move for about an hour.
they have mirrored bathrooms, so their bathroom layouts are exactly the same, but just kind of mirrored. So they have these little bathtub nooks. And,
Nice.
The number 2 point perspective.
So that is the mansion that we have now.
Very nice. So Clear begins like flitting around his room. He's like, "Oh, these are nice. These are nice oils."
NES ever win the lottery, we'll build the house.
Yeah, sure. That'd be great.
I think you need to win a couple lotteries to build that house.
I don't know. Instant payout right now is like 600 something million.
Yeah.
we could come
Crazy
close.
right now.
So
We're not going to be in
192
SoCal.
million.
with that, you guys find yourselves in this incredible mansion. This is the most space you've ever. First of all, you probably haven't even seen. Oh, you need to reshare the other thing.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
And then, oh my goodness, are we out of order?
Hang on, I'm working on it. It's fixed now.
It's fine. All right. It does look a lot better now. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So with that, you find yourselves in this space. Is there anything you would all like to do with your newfound home that you can visit? She has a 7th level spell slot.
I really thought we should come here to eat breakfast because they can whip up anything we want, and there's no barf. So, you guys want to go?
I forgot about even being hungry.
Well,
This is also...
I doubt Mitnir did. So, do we want to go have breakfast up in the dining area?
Yes, that sounds good.
Yes, absolutely. So as you guys head over there, see your bit of flitting butterfly in the peripheral, and just observing this incredible architecture and the ridiculous paintings of Seti that are all over the place. You find yourselves at this long table that is just incredibly nice. Clary's just sitting there. He's like, "Oh my god, these cushions! You can't get cushions these cushy."
No, but you can magic them up. So this place is available for 24 hours. I have to recast it every 24 hours if I want to keep it available. But, you're welcome to come and go as you please. Don't invite anybody else in, please. It's, that will have to be a group discussion. But this is our sort of private sanctuary.
I will say in the future, if we're using this spell in my room, probably best not to use my front door.
Well, it's the back of the door, and it's. Yeah, I closed it. Yeah. So here's the thing: I can close the portal behind us. So the portal is closed now. Because when
we can use the door again. Okay, good. Yes. As long as we can still use my door, because there is no other way out of that room.
No, the door is just a door. Until the portal is open, then we come out of it, and then I can shut the portal again, and then it's just a door again. But yeah, I mean, it was a convenient place. It's not necessarily like the permanent place. It can travel with us, so wherever we go, I can take it with us. And yeah, I thought we all deserved a sort of safe haven, a place that we could feel comfortable in, experience some peace, and also privacy. Well, except for the pooping, apparently.
I mean, there's curtains.
I'll get some curtains for the bathrooms. It's fine.
All right. So, as you guys all sit down for dinner, or breakfast rather, what would you guys like to do? What would you like to eat?
You can tell just just tell them what you want, and they will make it for you.
I want to imagine that there's just like a little scrap paper just kind of like hovers over towards you, and it just like sits down on the table with like a little quill, so you can just write your order down, and then it'll just flit off into the distance.
Okay, so we write funnel cake for Brapsy.
There you go.
Hangover cure with eggs.
Yeah. You just get what is apparently just a drink that has like an egg, a couple of raw eggs in it. just mixed together with like maybe pickle juice and hot sauce or something. It's a concoction.
Excellent.
All right. So as you all get your meals, Cleary is sitting there with a couple of moon pies and says, "So, this is absolutely incredible city, but more importantly, a very secure place to discuss, if I'm not wrong, which I mostly am not. So, yes, I think we have quite a lot to discuss whenever you're all ready for it.
Yeah, we do. We do.
I know you can't discuss a lot. I have been able to ascertain that you have signed some sort of contract or pact that stops you from speaking to me about specific things, and I understand that.
We can neither confirm nor deny that.
Very well.
Casually put the braceleted arm on the table.
I was going to ask if the bracelets are visible. The little contract bracelets we got.
Yeah, it's just like a little black band that's just around your wrist. He says, and he looks over it for a second, and he just begins like humming, and there's like just like a little trill and like just like a magical resonance as he gestures over it and begins like moving off his hand, and he looks and he says, "Yes, that is quite ironclad.
Yes, well,
whatever it is, do not break it."
Yes. So,
is that the contract, or like don't cut it off?
You can attempt to cut it off, but it won't cut. That is ironclad. There is no breaking that level of curse. So.
Right. Well, it was worth it, I think, but I don't know what to do about it. I'm trying to figure out how much we can tell you without giving anything away.
Well, not much.
If you need to discuss without me here, that is perfectly okay.
There is an enormous library I built just for you, pretty much. So,
I'm sure I have plenty to explore. But if there are things we can discuss, for instance, and most importantly, what should I report to the council on our findings?
What will do?
This mission was originally given by the council for you to investigate and ascertain, first of all, the involvement, what Varuna is doing and what their end goals might be, but also the involvement of Primus and whether or not he has been in some way,
I can neither confirm or deny if we know anything about any of that.
Very well. Which tells me that you did, in fact, discuss it and have found answers.
You can assume whatever you like.
Yep. That is for you to surmise whatever you want to surmise.
I understand.
I think I will be wanting to talk to my father as much as I can to learn what he might know that could help us make a decision.
Good. Well, if you want to do that, that's fine. I can let him know, or you can. But reporting to the council does need to happen, one way or another.
Yes.
So I do need something to report to them. I can report that you have entered a contract and found them not a threat or a threat.
I can't say one way or the other. But...
Okay. We can also just say that we are in progress and that we cannot say anything at this time, but it will irk them.
I mean, you know, we...
Can we make a, well, I don't even know if it would be a check, right? But does it feel like it would be dangerous to say that they don't feel like they're a threat?
No, it feels like your opinions on them as a group do not matter. And the fact that they've been informed by information hasn't changed the fact that that is your own opinion and is not subject to the pact.
We can say our opinion, but not why we have the opinion, basically.
Right.
Correct.
Grim can so Grim can say, Grim already didn't think that they were, an enemy necessarily.
Well, they're not. I don't think that they're the enemy we thought they were, but I don't think that makes them a friend.
They're not friends of Northot, for sure. We already knew this.
Yes, that doesn't make them allies.
I will say, as you begin to say they're not friends of Northot, like you feel like a bit of tension, like you're starting to get crossed into that territory.
Yeah.
So you kind of like they're not friends of, and then you kind of just stop. And he's like, and he sort of tries to infer it, and he's like, okay, well, as it is, I will tell the council that we have more investigating to do, but currently they are not an immediate threat. As well, my aspirants have in some way communicated with them in a way. I'll inform them of what I can, I suppose.
That seems fair.
But you are continuing to investigate and do so.
How
but do
would
it.
I go about getting an audience with Primus? Should I just send a message and ask for one?
Only Primus could realistically answer that. I'm certain you could try sending a message.
All right.
He's certainly within... Well, technically this is another plane. I don't know if that matters or not.
I wouldn't send a message from here, no. I mean...
No.
I mean, it's like a little demi-plane. I don't
know. Demi-planes are different planes, man. They're just demi. You just wheedle.
Setting a totally have infinite range on the same plane, but can't be used across planes. Oh no, that's not the... I thought for sure somebody would have Googled this, but I'm not seeing any immediate results, so we won't worry about it. I'm not sending any messages right now anyway. We have a lot of other stuff going on to talk about.
Cool. All right. So, I will tell them what I can.
Yes.
Meanwhile, if you want to talk to Primus, that is fine. As it is now, I am unable to really be of much help to you all, which I detest.
I know, so do I. I'm so sorry.
Do you want to be help? Grim has something you can look at and maybe tell him more about if you want to, look closely at it. Still don't know exactly what it is.
You can certainly try to help. What is it?
So I think we looked at it before, but I still don't really understand what it is. He'll pull out the Pyxis.
I forgot you guys got the Pyxis.
Still not exactly sure what it does.
Oh boy, give me a second. I have to go find out.
I just remember we were told to open it.
Yeah, you definitely turned not to open it.
Yes, open it.
Grim has just not been touching it just in case.
He says, yes, I do remember this box, and I believe I have attempted to identify it and found myself wanting. But I will attempt to ascertain what it is capable of again.
Yeah, you wanted to take another look at it.
So he begins observing it and trying to figure out like what it's capable of.
He said not to open it. The opening it sounds bad, right?
He says, no, I will not open the vessel, but I will take some time to try to ascertain its nature. I can do that while you're all discussing, and I'll come back to you with my findings. But please discuss what you can, figure out our next move so I can inform the council what you are going to be working on next. And if it aligns with what they wish, then, well, or if you want orders from them, I can certainly seek out what they would like for you to do next, if that is where you're at. But I know you all have a lot to sort out, and if you need a break, that is entirely fine, and just let me know. Well, I'll go work on this Pyxis.
Yes, there's something to do.
All right, so he kind of just takes off.
All right.
All right.
Rossetti stepped out.
Probably using the toilet.
Probably doing something.
Hers doesn't look into someone else's room. So guys, we got
step out then.
We got 1,000 egg
steps out with the box.
Great. So
we got 1,000 egg bucks to spend, guys.
I think you have more than 1,000 egg bucks. I think it's
no, it's 1,000 egg bucks, but it's worth 10,000 gold.
There you go.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, we should go shopping at Eggleman's after we figure out what we're doing.
The things that we can only discuss with, Cleary gone.
Yeah.
Probably that's less important.
So terrible.
Cleary's meeting Arcana checks.
Right. So one thing Grim needs to find out. I don't know if you all are interested in finding this out. Wondering if the contract pertains to inner realm stuff. Do you talk to people in your inner realm? Wondering if because Grim talks to Mushroom Lady in inner realm. I wonder if Grim is still allowed to talk to Mushroom Lady.
If you told her
or she can even read Grim's mind. Is she allowed to? Does she already know? Is she allowed to know?
I
don't know how all that works.
If anybody who wasn't there finds out through us, then it is a violation of the contract. So
does she already know through Grim because she's in my inner realm?
Well, maybe she can tell you that, but
yeah, I don't know how that.
She wasn't in the room, so no, you can't talk to her.
Well, I wasn't going to tell her. I'm just wondering if she knows by being in there. How does that work? Yeah, but
I don't really talk to anyone in my inner realm.
Yeah, but you're weird. You have weird. You're just made of like a bunch of weird crap.
It's an internal battle going on in there.
Yeah, yours is just like a cloud of weird, messy stuff. We should probably take that apart. Might be a good idea to rebuild you. We have the technology.
Do we? I don't know that we do.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I have a knife that can cut souls. And you have all your clock stuff. I mean, between all the different gods we know, there might be a way to just cut the Northought out of you and make a new you. I don't know. We could try and look at it. I still think it might be worth looking at. Because if I still, they talk about wanting the Star Lady for the book. I think it might be worth looking into it to see if they can take the Northought out of you and put it in the book. Grim keeps thinking of this, but
would that not be more possible. I mean, it's the substance of his flesh, essentially, right?
Yes, but if we can give him different flesh, then he won't have to have the Northought in him anymore. Flesh is easy to make.
Well,
grow flesh from anything.
That might be magic beyond us.
Oh, you can grow new flesh. I grew new flesh the other day. Make those new people. But there might be something to think of. And maybe if Grim was thinking, maybe if we have a piece of Northought in the book, it might give them more power over Northought to make it easier to defeat him. But I don't know.
It might kill birds might give Northought a way in. We don't know either.
Well, maybe. But just like having a piece of these different entities inside other people gives power over them, right? Maybe having a piece of Northought in the book gives power over Northought. Who knows?
My immediate questions are, if Primus is working with them and approves of this whole thing, if it was all his ideas, why hasn't he told them about the ephemeris he already has? Why do they need the Atlas at all?
Well,
also, why is Primus, why do they think their plan is any better than the Council's? I know they said if the council were to kill any of the Elder Gods and their power be destroyed or disrupted, then things might fall apart. But killing the Elder Gods isn't necessarily the council's plan anyway. It's just something that might happen if they spill through when Northot comes, or if we go to Northot.
He might not know all of the council's plans. He might only know what Primus has told him. My guess would be that Primus probably has plans within plans. He probably is hedging his bets. Right? He probably has Invaruna's plans, and if that doesn't work, he has the council's plans to seal, right? Northot within the other thing. Right? Why not have backup plans and other backup plans? He probably has more backup plans that we don't know about.
Yes.
But this is a plan that he came up with himself too, right? He probably came up with this,
That's what Peto said, that it was Primus's plan, I think. So I want to talk to Primus and see what we can get out of him. I know he's
we have to ask.
tricky.
We probably have to ask if we're allowed to talk to Primus before.
Well,
we can
no,
talk to
I
Primus.
think we talk in circles, right?
Well, Primus knows everything anyway, right? So it doesn't matter, right?
Yes,
we can just talk around it. Yeah.
I think and if he realizes that we know, then maybe he will be able to tell us things.
He hears everything anyway. He's got all the eyes and ears.
Yeah, so
he knows everything his little buddies know, I bet.
My immediate, it's good to know that they're not trying to help Northot, because that would be bad, but they're doing other things I don't like. It doesn't automatically make them friends, just because we both want the same thing dead.
Yes. But he does raise a good point about, if they were to die, time and space dying, that's bad.
Yes, but I think there is a middle ground between if he says the council's plan is to kill them all, and their plan is to absorb their powers and give them to mortals. There has to be a middle ground where we can simply kill Northot, not let the Elder Gods out into the material plane, and keep them trapped where they've been for aeons without too much in the way of incident.
It's possible.
I don't like the idea of Enveruna harnessing these powers and doing something completely... There's no precedent, something completely new and I think reckless with them. Essentially putting all of those powers into the hands of people who are easily controlled or corrupted, and whose motives are not exactly pure to begin with, and then giving Peto a sort of control switch over all of them.
Do we know that the council's motives are completely pure and not corrupted?
But at the moment...
I mean, we've seen some of the people on the council.
At the moment, the objective that we've had from the council is, find out... Stop Northot, essentially, right?
Well,
no, they're
so
not...
far what we know is that it's the investigate in Verona.
Yes, but to ascertain if they're a threat to the council's plans to stop Northot. Right? So...
Yeah. Which so far it's not really been to stop, it hasn't really been to interfere with their plans so much as it's a different plan.
Yes.
The door's going to open either way, right? That's the plan, is to open the door to stop Northot. So far, they don't really interfere. Northot will lose either way, right? That's the plan. He'll die or be sealed or whatever.
I think the ideal plan involves us going through the door without letting anything else through it. And I don't mean us specifically, I mean whoever's strong enough to do it.
So us.
I don't think going through the door is a good idea, right? If that's where these things are and they're incredibly powerful gods that can't possibly be absorbed because they're so powerful, it's probably a bad idea.
Only if they're all there waiting for us on the other side. I think, if we can drop in on Northot and either yank him through by himself or something.
Well, it might not so much be. Well, I don't know how it works. It might not be so much a place as a is. Does that make sense?
Well, that's why we need to learn more.
They might just be there, right? It might just. But I don't know. I've never been there. Not all places are physical, right? In the same way that this place is.
I have seen the Far Realm when I visited Greed, right?
Something similar. Probably the Far Realm. I don't know if he was traveling in the Far Realm or if he was traveling through the Astral Sea, but he was moving through some sort of space. But whenever you tried to observe the Far Realm, it's like he had to fold it in for you so you could
comprehend it.
The way that the finite mind would perceive something is going to be different from how, when we're talking about a divine being, right? That the way that they present themselves is going to probably be different from how they exist, right? In their true form. So even though they might be over there, that doesn't mean they're just over there, right? So, like the peto guy, right? He looks like just a guy. There's probably a lot more than just that guy with the greasy hair. I don't know, but probably going in the door is not a good idea. We probably would get squished very fast. Probably don't fight gods directly. Probably bad idea. Unless there are other gods.
So here's another question then. If Selindor is this nexus point, kind of apart from other places, but all of them connecting, and we open the door, and let's say Northot and everyone else spills through, and it's just chaos. If we kill Northot, Selindor ceases to exist anyway.
Yes.
Does it matter if the Black Goat of the Wood gets out into Selindor, if we are able to wipe Selindor out fast enough?
Well, I think that is why it might be helpful to have the Inveruna plan. Because then you know that those other forces are accounted for. They're not going anywhere because they're under control. They are known entities that they're not. You know that they are not going to be spilling over anywhere because this, that, and the other. They're all there where they are.
Yes, but then we have to deal with what happens when you give immense godly power to people who are...
Yes, but otherwise you're just going to have immense godly power going everywhere. And who knows where it could go in the
that's what I'm asking.
But the alternative is it goes wherever it goes in those brief moments, right? It's a floodgate, and when you let light out of who knows how fast it goes, right? In the brief moment that it's open, it could go anywhere. Really hard to put a stopper on that. But once it's open, it's open. Doesn't matter if it takes us 2 minutes to kill Northot. That's 2 minutes to a god. That's a lot longer than it is for us.
I see the risks, but there has to be some way of doing things that doesn't give universe-altering powers to Peto Talrain.
You could have universe-altering powers to us.
As this is happening, a butterfly flutters up next to your ear and says, "Excuse me, mistress. It's time for our union break."
That's fine, yes.
Okay, well, let's all take 5.
All right, it's break time, guys. Everybody go pee. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
So we'll be back in about 5 minutes, guys. Okay, hey guys, and we're back. Good stuff. Great fanfare. So, what would you guys like to do? You're just in the middle of talking and you got interrupted, so feel free to Go ham with that again.
Yes. Well, just to remember that if we were to take them up on their offer, your friend Kieran, it sounds like, would be the most powerful. Probably more powerful than Peto, if it came down to it.
Well, that's what I'm worried about a bit.
But
Kieran
you
is...
would be true Nembra, which would be the one thing that would be able to keep him in check.
I don't fancy spending the rest of my life, whatever remains of it, as some music-making far realm entity charged with babysitting her little brother, because I'm pretty sure he's my little brother.
Yeah. Sure.
And I don't trust Kieran's vision of the world to have that power to dream reality. His vision of the world, the way he wants to change it, I do not trust that it would be for the better, or that he would not destroy the things that make life worth living. I also do not trust that if Peto had a sort of control switch for all of us, including Kieran, that he would not just use it to harness that power for himself somehow.
Perhaps. But, yeah, well, let's see.
I do not believe that any of these people are doing this out of the benevolence of their hearts, because they truly believe it is the only way to keep the world from ending.
Oh no,
I think they are doing it because they want power.
Reason. People do things for a few reasons, really, right? Fear, greed, lust, power.
I do not trust their reasons. If I had to answer them now, I would say no way in hell. But we need to learn more. We need to find out what the other avenues might be, and I really want to know why Primus hasn't given them the ephemeris already.
Well, it could be that the ephemeris that we had is just broken beyond repair. And there's just no point in giving it to them.
Is it missing its Star Mother piece now?
Well, I did break it. That part is, that's part of it. But greed could have also messed it up as well. And turned it into something else.
Something did happen with him.
So,
and the book.
The rogue, as they call him, he could have turned it into something else that's no longer an ephemeris. And now without the Star Mother, and with him tinkering with it, it could be something else entirely. So, yeah. But no, I would say, whatever their reasons, if it comes down to it, that it's trusting people with bad intentions, or, everything going to shit.
Damn cat.
Sometimes, hard decisions. And if it means having to spend an eternity being an eldritch god, well, better us than the universe. But that just is what it is.
I was prepared to die fighting Northot to save everything I love. I was not prepared to give up my mind and body to a chaos, primordial sort of music-making sleeper person.
That is the question, right? Is will we? So, would we? Or could we? I don't know.
Maybe? He said...
But
he said
have
something
an
like...
influence.
He said something like, keep your mind if you can manage it. He's trying
I
to
mean,
find people that won't be completely overwhelmed by the god's power when they take it.
That's why he's
But
chosen you, right? The daughter of Lord Iris.
perhaps.
Don't know why he wants a Furbolg for anything. But, and we know why he wants Oren, right? We know.
There is something special about you, Grim. We may not know what it is, or maybe it's just happenstance. But I do not believe you
I
would
mean,
be
it-
here if it...
But, yeah, no, but your connection to your father might, your connection to the weave, right? Maybe that
might.
would give you some extra influence.
I already share this space with the matron and Hyacinth and my father, and I do not really like the idea of adding an elder god to the mix. I really hoped I could go back to just being Seti. Or
Yes,
die in the process, but...
yes. Unfortunately, we do not always have luxuries of getting what we want.
we need to learn more.
We do. We should see if we can talk to the big mechanical man.
Shall we make that our first stop?
Yeah, if you'll
The
talk
rest
to
of
us.
you have been very silent. Is it because your faces are stuffed?
This is why you should eat good
Saying
berries.
pretty much everything that I've been thinking, so wasn't much need.
I mean, we keep the book, we kill the gods, we kill Dortha, we win. Problem solved.
Probably can't
That
kill
would be
the god.
ideal, probably.
I mean, you would probably destroy reality doing that. From the sound of it. Probably not ideal.
Who knows, man? Who knows? As you
I
guys are
certainly
having
don't.
these conversations, you hear like a sound as something chirps in your ear. It says, Mr. Cleary wants to know how your conversation is going. He's discovered things about the Pyxis.
Guess you
Alright.
should probably let him back. Well,
Yes, bring him back if you will. Thank you.
As Cleary comes up, he says, So, hopefully you've discussed everything you can
Well-
that you needed to without me here.
sure, good enough.
In the
right?
interim,
We're not gonna get all the answers right now.
fun thing about this box, discovering what it's capable of, merely only required touching it for a minute. Beyond that, the only way to find out what is inside the box or what would happen if it was opened is to open it. But the effects otherwise is if you touch it for a minute, you become rested. And you receive a small blessing for the remainder until your next rest.
Oh, great.
It's an incredibly powerful artifact. It's stronger than my Sleeping Maiden statue.
But what happens if you open it?
As I said, you would not be able to find out until you opened it. It's similar in energies to what I have read folklore from the lands of Avanda, talking about something called Pandora's Box. This seems eerily similar.
It sounds a little too good.
I don't know what else to say about it. It does give these benefits. However, it is clearly... and you see he looks over for a second, and
We just glue it shut.
he looks at it for a second, and he says, and it's at times I feel like it. And he looks at it, and his eyes kind of go wide. And he goes, "Never mind." What were you saying?
No.
What was that there, buddy?
I don't know what you mean.
You
So the
look
times
little.
it feels like, and then you got this look in your eye.
I had like this strange headache, I guess.
You're right.
Yeah.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
I'm also making an insight.
24.
Oh.
24. For a moment, it seemed like something was affecting him, and he shook it off. But he doesn't. He doesn't seem aware of what it was. It seems to you like he succeeded in a saving throw.
Well. Okay. Yep. So that thing
So
definitely
that's
got
not a safe
some.
thing.
Sorry, what was he doing at that particular moment?
It seemed like he was listening to something.
Listening to.
Like it seemed like he heard something, and he just kind of froze for a moment, and then suddenly it was gone, and he then just like snapped out of it.
So you can
My
rest.
theory would be a voice to say, "Open me." So maybe let's put that away somewhere.
So
we could just open it.
Well,
as I said, the benefits are quite potent. But yes, trusting this box, of course, bit dangerous. You're looking at me strangely. I assume I hiccuped in some strange way, which suggests magical interference, probably? Yes, probably suggests magical interference. And the fact that I'm unaware of how I was affected is even more concerning, as I can see in your eyes.
Dropsy, do we have some kind of remove curse sort of thing you could try? Maybe put the box thingy down, just in case, to be safe?
No, I don't think that would do anything to it, though.
I wonder what happens if you remove curse on an item. I don't think it does anything.
I don't think it only if it's worn. I think it would allow you to remove a worn item, right? But this is not a worn item.
What if we
it can remove the curse that's applying to you. It cannot remove a curse from a cursed item.
Well, I want to.
It can stop the curse that is the curse that is applied to you, but not the curse itself.
Look, I'm just trying to look after my man. I'm worried. Let's do a precautionary remove curse on Cleary.
Okay, that's fine.
If we do that twice.
Why would we do it twice?
Because the contracts are a curse.
I think they're too.
I can
even try. Think that would work on that. Clary already said that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
He did say it wouldn't work. You could still try. Meanwhile, I mean, there's options. Do you guys have things you could try?
Would have to do remove curse. I cannot do that one.
Well, we will not use it unless we really need to. Then, guys, how about that?
Yes.
I don't even know if Cleary has remove curse. Anyways, so what would you guys like to do? Cleary's sitting there. He says, I will go speak to the council whenever you're ready. What did you all decide you'd be doing next so I can inform them of your next steps?
Yeah, if you want to ask them if we can meet with, I forgot his name, Primus.
Well, I think we...
I mean, the council has no real control over that.
Yeah.
His current residence is the place where you can approach him, but as aspirants, you have the right to approach any member of the council.
So that's what. Yeah, we just want to go talk to that guy,
we
right?
Will,
where's he? Where's he live?
He's within this tower.
His tower, yeah.
Not this tower. Right now, we're in this place.
Well, you know,
yeah,
the school tower.
It's the headmaster's office, which is on the landing of the halls of Erudition.
I do want to speak to my father, but perhaps you could arrange that, Cleary, or just tell him to visit me.
Just a private meeting with your father? I could arrange that for him, but if you were to just use your magics to speak with him in a dream, that would work just as well. So,
all right.
Probably take less out of his day.
As a side note, Greater Restoration can remove a curse.
Here we go.
Should I just attempt it now?
Go for it.
You can certainly try.
I do.
So you
so.
cast Greater Restoration on Cleary, and as you do, you see that a little bit of his fatigue from the night before, because he did not sleep properly, seems to alleviate. Other than that, he seems the same.
Great. Well,
Just give him a little
just
forehead
in case,
kiss.
guys, we will not use that unless we really need a short rest.
Yes, if there's some sort of curse involved in this box, you do not want to deal with it.
We could also give it to somebody we don't
And
like, you know.
You gave me a headache post the effect. I do remember that, which makes me believe it was a fairly powerful curse and difficult to resist.
There you go.
Definitely making note of that.
But yeah, guys, it gives you the benefits of a short rest, and you're blessed until your next short or long rest. You can only use the effect of it once per long rest.
Surprised they would give this as a reward if it was highly cursed.
Well, the
This
Inveruna.
Inveruna, I'll put it up for auction. It wasn't
Yeah,
a
I bought
reward.
it from Inveruna.
Yeah,
Oh.
this was an item from Inveruna brought
along
to auction.
Along with the far kitten.
Along with the far kitten, who is like sliming around underneath your outfit at this very moment.
It's in my breastplate and stuff.
Selling off their cursed crap.
Oh, they just like to cause trouble.
Yeah.
They did warn me not to open it, at least, right? So.
Yep. Aldous was like, "Don't open the Pyxis."
I was like, "Oh, I want to buy it," but nobody else opens it.
You were warned. Which is a fairly friendly thing to do, is to say, "Don't open the Pyxis."
Yeah, don't open that thing that could cause lots of problems.
Yeah.
All right.
What is inside it?
We don't
We
know.
don't know.
You don't know.
We know not to open it.
Nor to Google the Pyxis.
Don't Google. Yeah, I got it.
That's why Mitnir wants to open the box.
I mean, I added it, but I didn't read it. So.
Yeah.
It's long. I don't want to read it anyway.
Yeah, don't whatever you do, don't read it, because it will ruin everything.
No.
But if it's not cruelty free.
Well, we know
Well.
it's cursed. It's not cruelty free.
Well, I don't know about all you guys, but I need to go visit Black and Delvers today for the weekly pay.
Oh yes, money. That's fun. Didn't I go with
Oh,
you
yeah.
last time? Should I go with you again?
Yeah, if you want.
Did you write down what the roll is for your weekly money? Did I tell you that or no?
No, I wrote
How much-
what the amount I got last time.
How much did you make last time?
1 second. Just gotta find where I wrote that. Oh, it's not.
Could you
in
please
Think
find
of
somewhere
the
else to
mushroom
lie
house.
down?
there.
Then we'll call.
Yeah, I don't know how much you made, but I'm gonna go ahead and say roll a D100, and then multiply it by 100.
I definitely made a note of it.
Yeah,
Just trying to find where I put the note.
that's fine. Just go ahead and
Oh,
when
there it
you
is.
roll for it, how much did you make?
Week 1 payment was 3,104 gold.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a D100 and then multiply it by 100. That's how much money went through, and then you guys take your cut, which I believe was what was your deal?
boy.
50-50 split.
50-50. So you get half of whatever that number is. So I might as well just multiply it by 50 instead.
So 62.
Times 50.
Well, times 100 is 6,200, right? And then
Yeah, so
have it,
3,100.
3,100. Oh, it was almost exactly the same.
Nice.
All right. So as soon as we get out, I'm gonna call.
I guess I figured out the right math formula to use, huh?
Grim's gonna call Destrin and just remind Destrin to sell.
Oh yeah, she'll sell. Be working on selling the rest of your product. She probably did sales on that final night as well. Did you roll for the final day of the competition?
No, I don't think so. What am I
All right,
rolling?
go.
Is it 2d12 you had me roll?
Yeah, I think it was 2d12, and that's just the number of things that she moved, and then roll a d20.
Yeah. I rolled 3.
I did not
So she
split
was
up
really
that
drunk
money
last night.
time.
And then a d20 to roll how much the value was, and an 8.
I'm just gonna say just normal value. So she she only sold 3, and she's like I shared a little bit with some other people, but I paid for it. So here you are.
Yeah. Oh, Destrin, you funny person.
So I didn't distribute the gold last time. I just made a note of how much it was, and we've done so much shit since then. So everyone can add 1,240 gold to their amount.
Woohoo!
1,240 gold.
Nice. We love passive income.
I have zero idea how much money I'm supposed to have after that auction.
Kita, that's why we write things down.
I was trying to clarify.
When we say this is how much money it costs, you then remove the money from your.
I'm aware of that, but I also said I have money that y'all can spend, and I gave people my money, and I don't know if I got anything back. Is what I'm saying.
They probably didn't add that money to their character sheet or anything, so.
No, all would have got spent.
I want to imagine it was somewhere around 10,000 gold or more, but I don't know how much it was. So we rolled for it. So you'll have to go back to that episode and go look it up. But I would say whatever amount of money you have, to be safe, remove like 15K.
Beats me.
I mean, that's not true though, because you got 10,000 from Cleary.
Mm-hmm.
So if you added the 10,000 from Cleary, remove that, and then like 5K or something. I don't know.
I only have 2,400 gold now because you can keep track of it in D&D Beyond so easily.
Was the point, Gag. It was my sharing that created the conundrum.
We'll have to figure that out later.
Yeah. How much am I noting down for now? For what we just got?
1,240.
You might want to drop that in the chat so we have it for future reference.
Alrighty. Well, let's go do what we're gonna do.
Primus time?
Okay.
Well, Primus time.
Yes. So you guys head down through the Tower of Thought into the Halls of Erudition, where you have once again arrived at this sort of metallic entranceway where there's like a couple little elevators to the side, and then there's just this large 28-foot or more high door. Honestly, it's probably even taller than that, but it's this massive door that has all this interlaced mechanics to it, and there's this little speaker on the wall that you guys have used before to sort of message in on Primus.
Hello! Can we talk? It's Eddie and friends. New death? Important matters to discuss.
So you just do that, send that through, and then there's a moment you hear, huh? What's going on? How can I help you? Is this important? What's going on?
We'd really like to speak in private about sort of really big shit.
I mean, how private? You see, like, right, the little screen pops up, and you see Primus's old face, and he's like, what are you? What's up? And he just like looks like a little hungover.
Really private.
And he looks at you guys for a second, and he says, What's this about? Is
I
this
tell
about
you.
important things?
Important
Very
things that we
important
can't
light reading.
tell you.
things.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how secret does this need to be and how important is it?
20.
Make a persuasion check.
But okay.
Guidance.
What you know is gonna be at least
You
a
tell him, Seti.
22 plus whatever the guidance is.
D4.
23.
23. He looks at you guys for a moment. He's like, fine. Come in. And the door opens. So as the door opens, you guys see sitting behind a desk in a very tall, like intricate, you can see that as it begins to go up the walls, you can see all these tubes running up the walls, and the tubes just like seem to turn into like weird interlacing maze work above his head. And you can see that there are a couple little doors behind him that lead into other areas. And he says, so, what's this all about?
Well, it's rather delicate, but I have come into possession of some knowledge. We have. And we would like to discuss with you your role in the knowledge and
shake our bracelet at him.
Is this knowledge that you've learned at my school? Because if it is, you've done a bad job. Or maybe my teachers are doing a bad job. Taking notes.
It involves...
well, I guess I'm mostly wondering, first and foremost, why you think your plan might be more successful than the council's plan. Can I say that?
You get a little bit of a tingle, but not much, so you're okay. He looks at you for a second. I'm going to roll an insight check. He looks at you and he goes, and you watch as his face gets completely ripped in half and his body gets pulled into the walls. And as it does, you can see that there is just a singular like stick figure of metal that is just his skeleton. As he stands there, he says, I will guide you to Lord Primus. Thank you for your patience. And he begins moving towards the door. And as his hand goes into the door, it turns into 6 different little prongs that each turn like a different piece of a gear. And it slowly begins turning and etching and moving. And then he pulls his hand and the door begins unfolding into itself. The wall behind begins folding away and pulling behind you, closing off the entire section. And you guys feel this huge, massive rush of energy. It's as if in that moment, something that was sealed has been unleashed all onto you. And you feel your bodies become rigid.
Oh, fun.
I will take you to the map.
Oh, no.
We getting juiced up?
Is this...
As you guys find yourselves in the presence of Primus, you see a massive figure made out of pure light.
Wow.
Tubes running in and out of its body. In one hand, it holds a massive sphere of undulating light. In the other hand, a sphere of darkness. You can see that there are faces in the walls that seem to be made out of mechanical parts that seem to be observing you and sort of like moving strangely, and they seem to be alive. Primus says, welcome in. New Death. I hear you are in need of a discussion.
Well, yes. Lot more questions now, all of a sudden. But thank you for your time.
You are the band of Black Oath. You are in the know.
Yes.
Yes. So, you'll probably have to do most of the talking.
He looks at each one of you, like, dispassionately. You can't even, like, tell his eyes are moving because they're just behind this wall of light, and yet you can feel them shifting between each one of you, and your body becomes each time it passes over, you feel like your body is like almost being understood at a molecular level. Like each bit of you is being observed in a way that makes your body feel uncomfortable. And he goes, "Then let us discuss. You have learned of the second plan. A mere strategy to keep order. It is but a facet. Have you told the council?"
We cannot.
Then you have not found ways. Good. You are weak, and this is good. Do not speak of the plan, and do not interfere within Varuna.
We ask why, or you said second plan. The first plan, is that the council's? Is there another first plan? Is there a third plan or a fourth plan? Is there a plan that doesn't involve what they want to do?
There are probably multiple plans that are meant to work in tandem, would be Grim's guess.
The Furbolg is wise. Strangely.
Don't have to say strangely.
Your race is that of feeble mind.
Rude.
We're good with plans.
Indeed. Your connection to nature makes up for your lack of other knowledge, and makes you a very balanced creature, all in all. You have your place.
Can I ask? Maybe it's a stupid question. Grim has already theories that are probably correct, but why haven't you just told them about the thing we gave you? If that's what they want.
If you are meaning the thing that I hide within the verboten reliquary, then of course I would not let such entities come into the possession of such an artifact.
Should we
I
keep
would not invite more chaos into this world.
So we should keep the Atlas from them, because that is what they want.
You may do as you wish. If you cause more chaos, I will simply implement more order. So, feel free to do as you desire.
It's all the same to you, in the end.
You are insignificant in my calculations, but you grow in value each time, strangely.
Well,
Would a second book add more chaos?
Presumably.
It would be a small adjustment, but I believe their power would not be out of control. If your concern is that I am going to let a creature such as Peto Talrain run rampant, then know that such a plan was never on the table, and that honesty need not be shared with pawns.
Right, so it doesn't matter what they do because you've got it well in hand regardless. Is that what I'm getting here?
As I said, honesty need not be shared with pawns. Is there anything else that you needed to discuss with me?
Well, we are all caught up in the middle of this, whether any of us like it or not. You say our actions are insignificant, perhaps in the grand scheme of things, but maybe not in the microcosm of things. What we do could still hurt a lot of people or help a lot of people, regardless of whether or not it brings the end of the world or chaos. I am, searching for guidance and a way out of this that doesn't involve joining in Varuna or risking the end of the world. If that
The
is your
world will
goal.
not end regardless. But
Alright.
it may become too chaotic for your fragile being to continue to exist.
Right, I should clarify. That is what I mean by the end of the world. The end of the life that lives here currently.
Indeed. New life could simply be created to replace your existence. So all is not lost. However, it would be unfortunate to start over so late in the game.
Late in the game.
It need not concern you. As it is, whatever you do in regards to Inveruna matters not to me. Join them. Oppose them. It makes no difference. If you get in the way of my plans, I will simply eradicate you.
Fair enough. If your plans involve maintaining the status quo to an extent, the balance of
I
things.
am Primus. I am one and prime. I am the first thought to ever be. I hold the order in balance in my hands and make all as it should be.
What about Northought then?
Northought is a mirror and chaos. A not necessary existence, but has filled the role in such a way that there is nothing I can do currently.
If you were the first thought, who thought you?
A pointless question.
Did you think yourself?
Chicken and
Would
egg
the
scenario.
knowledge of the beginning of all things bring you comfort? Would it make you more efficient?
No, just curious if you thought yourself or if you were thought by something else.
An interesting thought. He just moves on. He just stares.
If Northought were to be destroyed, Selindor would also be destroyed, yes?
Selindor will always persist. In some way. So long as the council succeeds, it will be returned to its prior status.
Prior to Northought's involvement at all, or prior to his
To
death?
the change that Northought brought upon his witness.
Hang on, I'm trying to take notes at the same time.
Once upon a time, the land of Selindor was known as Sigil, the city of doors. Nexus point to all of the outer planes.
Let's see. Right.
Corruption, as Northought wove his strands in, devoured, consumed, and became, rewriting reality, and forcing the convergence of Sigil into one, when it was once many. The weave collapses here.
What is the danger with the council's plan? What are the odds that the elder gods break free? Or I'm assuming the second plan is there to deal with them.
If the door is opened, they will break free.
Is there no
But
other
they
way?
may also not break free. It comes to essence. It comes to will. they will be spread everywhere, all at once. The change in their influence, if they are not checked, could throw everything out of balance. And no modern march would fix it.
Vulture.
As such, I do what I must.
The second plan is to hold them in check.
He looks at you. Obviously, you are keeping a secret because you are forced to. He begins moving down a little bit closer, and you can just feel the energy pulsing off of what's in his hands as he gets a little bit closer to you all. Do you think that you pawns are worthy to know such knowledge of what my intents and plans are? Could you be of value to me, an asset in actuality, or would your feeble attempts to help only cause me more pain, more struggle, as I attempt to right this universe?
Well, we are too insignificant to cause you pain.
I'd like to think we could be assets, since people seem to insist on involving us.
How could we possibly be more trouble knowing what your intentions are, with you to guide us?
Mouths. They are always speaking, and secrets are easily revealed. Not to mention, only one of you has warded against mind reading.
That could be fixed.
That is true. I could change your minds. Literally.
You mean erase the knowledge?
No. I could make your cranium out of a different material that would be capable of resisting an interference from the outside to bring out knowledge that you do not desire to have lost. It will merely require a 12-hour surgery.
Oh, this would be actually interesting question. It's because you are clearly so wise. Do you know why Inoki does not influence Grimm's brain?
I have no interest in this, madam.
Oh, you seem to know a lot about brains. My apologies.
It is hard to say for certain. Your body seems very strange. But it is not of interest, so I will not investigate further at this time. Maybe you can speak to a tertian.
Tertian.
And he just gestures to the side, and one of the faces looks closely at you and begins moving its way out. And you see as it begins to pull up, you see an arm reach out of the darkness and kind of pull up behind it, and it begins to untube itself. You see this tail kind of wick out, and this you can see that the head is kind of got almost a strange helmet built into the skull, and its eyes begin to slowly open. As they do, you can see light pouring out of them, and mechanical whirring. These blue sort of diamond-like eyes begin to pour light at you. Observation. Entity. Beginning. And you can see that it just begins to observe you and try to understand your nature.
Grimm's just gonna observe it back because it's okay, this is interesting. I don't usually like metal things, but okay.
Yeah, it seems to be. There's a lot of different heads in this thing, but there are only 9 in actuality.
Roll investigation. I rolled a 19 to investigate this thing.
It is a large creature. It is strange. It is mechanical. It has some flesh still as well, but it seems to be golden flesh.
Yeah.
It's big. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
It's yeah.
So as it looks over at you, it says, "It will continue its analysis, and I will let you know when we have results."
Great.
Good. Do not bother me further with such unimportant matters. As you said this was important, I have divvied out time and resources. Now, do not halt my processes further unless you have more important things to discuss.
I
Are we done
suppose.
then?
I suppose we're done then. And at your
Good.
disposal.
Ah, if you are at my disposal.
Not for literal disposal, just to be clear.
Unfortunate, your parts would have been very useful. I could have made some very interesting modern.
I simply mean that we will try to aid rather than hinder your plans in as much as we can. We will not cause more chaos.
Again, if you do, it will be negligible. And yet, I do not wish to give you more information where you will make it closer to the center of the weave. The harder you try, the more important you become, the more difficult it is to plan for your variances.
Duly noted. We will try less hard, if that will make it easier.
There is no easy, there is no hard. It is simply complexity.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time. Enjoy playing with your balls.
Doesn't even respond. And as you guys watch out, you watch the whole thing folds back, and this little like twig-like piece of metal skeleton, you see the flesh is like pumped onto it like an ooze, and it just kind of like and it begins shaking slightly, and then as it shakes it off the ooze, it goes, "Well, that was great. So nice talking to you. You guys have a wonderful evening."
You too, thank you.
Thanks. Not real Primus. Talk to you later.
Oh yes. Well, if you ever want to come in for hootenanny, just let me know.
Okay.
It is
Oh,
time
boy.
for hootenannies.
I like the crazy Primus a lot better.
Yep.
So as you guys step out from that, you feel the energy wash off of you, and you feel the ability to move your body as you want again. In his presence, you felt strangely not controlled, but like your performance was predetermined.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
It's a lot to take in, really. Yeah.
Well,
You
somebody
can't expect
is a
humanity
little...
from the gods.
Something tells Grim that maybe this guy thinks maybe a little highly of himself.
Well, he is one of the big ones.
Oh yeah, he big, but I don't know, there are other big ones too.
Yes. Well, I don't know that conversation helped all that much, but it does make me... Well...
But it confirmed that Grim is right about things, that at least is, something good, right?
I think my plan's still best plan. Keep the book, kill the gods.
No, can't kill the gods. Don't do that. We know that's bad.
I like the first part of your plan. I
Keep
don't
the
like
book.
giving power to bad people.
Well, as far as I was aware, you guys have the book, and it's on the moon, where books belong, and then you also have the actual ephemeris, which is currently in the Verboten Reliquary.
Yep.
And as far as you know, and according to the conversation Primus just had with you, Inverna does not know that that is there.
Yep.
Currently.
Yeah.
I think the first thing we all need to do is get some sort of protection from mind reading. So we could try asking for more amethysts or bits and pieces from the I forgot what they're called, the dragons. Starts with an S, I think.
You talking about the Spectrum?
The Spectra.
Or
the
Spectra?
Yeah. We could see if they could help,
what do
like
you
they
need
did for me.
We have
There are magical items
triplets
that
of-
can help. I think Brapsy's already shielded, right? You have like an amulet or something? Or you had an amulet?
Yes. I think I got that, yeah.
Upgraded.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
What's the amulet called?
Proof
well,
of detection, or proof against detection in mind reading or something.
There's a ring of mind shielding.
Ring of mind
that-
shielding, and then her amulet is just a proof against detection.
Mitnir will just dig in his bag for a second and be like, amethyst dust?
Prevents them from scrying on her.
Is there more amethyst dust though?
I have 6 vials of the dragon amethyst dust.
there
Actually.
Wait,
anything
could
that
we all
doesn't
get
require
matching
attunement?
tattoos?
I think it was like 2 vials per like for your tattoo.
Okay, but who else wants who else wants a matching tattoo?
I mean, obviously.
But if you're already protected, then you don't need one.
From scrying, not from mind reading.
Just from scrying.
Scrying and detection from magical detection.
Detection and location. I see. Okay. Well, yeah, get Bropsy an amethyst tattoo then.
Propsy's like you're, just telling people what to do with
Yeah, I
Propsy's
think it's
body.
just those 2 items, and it's just those 2 items, and they're both attunement items, which is kind of a bummer.
Yep.
I mean, I could try.
Well,
Yeah,
we
you've
could-
never tried tattooing feathers before. In fact, your knife
birds
may
have
have
skin
some.
too.
Yes, under their feathers.
You
Bropsy
gotta
can
shave
fluff
the
up.
part first. You gotta shave it first and then tattoo.
I can shave feathers.
You're gonna have to pluck them.
Oh,
You could probably die under them.
There are
mean,
plenty of
could
birds
just do your legs,
that.
but I'm not sure that's
her
enough
hands aren't feathered.
space.
yeah, do
That's
her
true.
like wrists
She has
or
Yep,
you know
your
her little
wrists
her
or your-
ankles.
your ankles. Yeah.
Painful.
He is like visually measuring the tattoo space on SETI and like looking at Bropsy going,
Oh, it doesn't
Uh,
have to be the same size.
We're doing a full body tattoo, right?
Can you etch her beak?
That is
Oh
so small.
goodness! I think I'd rather my hands.
That reminds me, I can make some really good ink.
Remember,
for
you're asking the
Mitnir.
not tattoo artist to tattoo someone.
Bropsy, get a
If we
face
needed-
tattoo.
If we needed that, I could make really good ink for Mitnir.
Yeah.
Well, we could look, Mitnir. I know it's your thing, but we could ask Cleary to do it, and then it will be artistic.
But would it work? Not
mean-
saying that mine would work, but
He can imbue stuff with magic. He can enchant. I don't see why it wouldn't work.
If
The
Mitnir
powder
needs,
has the power in it already.
if Mitnir needs, Grim can make ink that's level 9 scroll ink.
I don't know what that would do specifically in this case, but that could be interesting.
Yeah, would that help?
I can make
that,
level 9 spell writing ink.
yeah. So, as you have learned with your knife, is that you can imbue a spell onto you with a spell rot tattoo, and it is a one shot, right? It's like putting a scroll on your body. If you wanted to have something permanent, this would probably be the best ink you could find that would put a spell of a high level.
Not sure it would work for the mind thing.
And it
but
would be like a once a day kind of thing, probably, with that kind of spell, ink.
Yeah, but you could put a really powerful spell on there. What else could I probably do?
You could tattoo my mansion on me so that I don't have to use a spell slot for it every time.
That would take an entire torso tattoo, so you know.
Okay.
So
I'll
that would
think
take
about
that would be like your back would have to be like a mansion.
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
all possible. And we can ask Cleary. I just don't know if he knows how to do it.
We'll talk about it. I assume we're like walking, and we can head back to Cleary's room. I guess I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
We all
I
want to
don't
go.
know what Cleary's up to at this point either. So
I mean, he can help us with this. We can talk about mind shielding with him. So
It sounds like we probably need to. Yeah, I think we
you're
need-
probably gonna want to go talk to Melody if you're gonna use her thing on other people as well,
hmm.
so that she has approved of it. I mean, you could just say I send Melody a message and make sure it's cool, and I'll just tell you if that's a yes or no.
Yeah,
you
let's
don't
do
have to,
that.
like, yeah.
I'll basically
Just do me a persuasion check. You don't even have to do the conversation because we only have 10 minutes left.
Okay, but I also kind of want to ask if she could help cover additional people, like not just, or like if the other spectra could maybe help as well, with more material. That's a 26 persuasion.
26 persuasion. She's like, oh, if you require, well, interesting to see what you've done with my scale. But yes, if you want to apply it to others, that's fine. If you want to speak to the other spectra, I can't do it for you. But feel free to speak to them. They have different domains than I do. Then again, you wanted something very specific, and you got it. The additional effects that I'm sure you've received, putting a piece of me inside of you, would be different depending on who they came from.
So was that a yes or a no that the other spectra might be able to offer mind shielding?
I believe mind shielding is something they could all provide, but the other effects might be different.
Well, so for Mitnir's, we got to get one from Zanya.
Yeah, Zanya's the Gideon type.
Yeah.
One that's best friends with her brother.
Oh yeah, I was like, name's familiar, but I couldn't place
She's
it.
like, "Oi, come sit here and eat some good food, eh?" Like that was her.
Big
And she's a big beefy not amethyst, sapphire dragonborn.
Okay, so she approved the amethyst dust thing. So how many vials do we have? You said 2 per tattoo.
Yeah, I have 6 on mine because I think it.
So you could
crushed
do
into
So
the-
3 more.
that's 3 more tattoos.
Yeah.
Then we're just short one person.
Or you could use that for other stuff and try to get scales from the other ones.
Get a
that
collection
fit
of
other
scales.
people.
I'm sending a message to Zanya.
Can we just have a couple of your scales? You know.
Yeah. I'll say, hi, Melody gave scale for mind shielding. Any chance you can help New Death out too? Mitnir needs protection for his thoughts.
So there's a second here. You having trouble talking? No offense, man, but it seems like you're having a real hard time talking there. So
I only have 25 words.
no, she's like, yeah, everything that you say, it sounds a whole lot like a question, but I'll tell you what. Yeah, you need one of my scales? I could probably give it to you, but in person. I'm not gonna send one of those out or anything. So yeah, come on down if you want. Oh, straight. Apparently my limit was 25 words, but I broke that, so I'm just gonna keep going. How's your day? Hopefully everything is going real well with you. And you realize that she's like actually forced a mental connection with you. You can respond.
Oh, my day's actually been a mixed bag so far. A lot of weird stuff's happening, but a lot of good stuff too. So, I'd love to meet up. That would be such a big help. Shall we just come down to the, was it called the mud bucket?
Yeah. Oh, dude, you can come to the mud bucket if you want. Actually, if you're being crazy, you can also go talk to one of the other Spectra. If there's any of them specifically you want to speak to, Largus, if you need one of my skills, that's fine. You're doing weird brain protection stuff? That's good.
Yeah.
I won't lie, I'm not the biggest brain one out of our group, but you could totally get mind reading protection from it for sure.
Yeah, that's
depending
the
on how
big
you use
thing.
it.
I thought maybe your scale would be a good fit for Mitnir because you're both blue and big and strong.
Oh, Holly with the body. Yep, sure.
Exactly.
We're all just like looking at her, and she's like,
Yeah, I'm just like in my head but I'm still just
It's like, yeah, no. So yeah, I don't know what your group's all about, but the Spectra, we're more than happy to help if you're all against the baddies on the other side of the wall. So
yeah, that's basically what we're doing. So we definitely appreciate all the help we could get.
Also, sister of my friend, you're basically my sister. So
Oh, that's so
get
sweet.
your butt over here.
All right, I'll see you soon. But before we break this little private chat, I mean, look, I'm certainly overstepping, but I'm mixed up in all this big stuff. I was just curious. Labra mentioned you took some rocks that he found, and I was just wondering what's up with that. You don't have to answer.
Yeah, right. So that's not something I'm going to talk to you about just right now. If you come and, I know you guys, you were aspirants, were you? So,
Yep.
I mean, you're in a different group than the Spectra. The council's got their own thing going on.
Sure.
If you wanted to talk to us about that kind of thing, it's not that I can't talk about it. It's just that...
I figured it was above my pay grade, but I thought I'd ask just out of curiosity.
Yeah. Basically, we can talk in person.
Okay. See you soon.
Right. Hey, bring me something tasty when you come, right?
Ooh, okay.
I love it when somebody walks in with food to the mud bucket because it pisses them off and it gives me a right good laugh. So.
Oh, okay, great. Sure. Sounds good.
All right. Talk.
Would it be possible?
Are we still heading back to Cleary's?
Yeah, while she's doing this, yeah.
That's all. Yeah, walk and talk. Yeah, real quick, wrap up. Go. What's happening?
Real quick, wrap up. What?
We go to Cleary's to get his opinion on can he tattoo people and make the mind shielding stuff happen?
He's like, well, I'd have to look very specifically at Mitnia's tattoo that he did on you in its entirety.
Okay. And he just takes her shirt off, like, there it is.
Yes.
And he stares for a minute and he's just like, yep. And she just starts observing and like looking all over. He's like, honestly, there's no real formula to the way Mitnia did this, and I imagine that my performance with it would not be nearly as good. But I believe that we've learned that your breath is the secret to that. So, assuming that I would follow the simple formulas in other tattoo work, and Mitnia still used his breath, we could maybe get a similar result.
Yeah,
but there is divine influence here.
I just thought, you're the artist, and maybe you could do something more artistic on the other people if they didn't want just dots everywhere.
Yes, I could give you something artistic for sure. More than that, I could almost guarantee the feature of the mind reading reduction. The problem is that it most easily applies to your skull. When doing the arcane runes, Mitnia using it over your body is incredibly impressive.
So you're saying face tattoos?
Face tattoos are personally aesthetically not my choice, but
I mean, there's the back
of the head
under the hair.
Yeah, under the hair.
You could do
the
like
spinal
a
column.
circlet.
Anywhere along the spinal column is also acceptable.
Well, see, there you go. Mine's kind of...
It will follow the roots in the system and follow straight up the spine. That it easily stop them as well. So wing tattoos, Ropsy, if you're in need of something like that, as well as we can make it work. But the additional effects that might come with it, I don't know. I would have no control over that. That would be at the mercy of, this strange tattooing knife that Mitnia has and his breath. So, but I can provide the artistic component, which is to say that you could use his art, his art skills as opposed to Mitnia's. That would just be the only real difference.
Is the
He
door
makes a
to
stencil.
Is the door to your fancy castle still open?
Yes.
It isn't. Oh, her castle, yes.
Yes.
Okay, I have some work I need to do in there.
Okay.
Very important.
Yep. just pop on through to Cleary's door.
Okay, great. The Grim's gonna go in there. What time is it? Is it still like early afternoon?
It's yeah, I would say that at this point after your little trip to Primus, it's probably like our little after lunch, maybe.
Okay. So Grim's gonna go ahead and just start. He's gonna set up and start casting fungal phylactery in his room.
Nice. Cool.
That's gonna take 8 hours. And that's basically what he's gonna do for the next few days.
Yep. Is just put this in her demiplane where nobody but the people she lets in can find your phylactery.
Well, he's gonna do his today, and then he's gonna just start doing one in each person's room.
He's just gonna start setting up the mushrooms and just be like,
he's just gonna start making a phylactery in everybody's room over the course of the next like 3 days.
Cool.
Just in your bathroom is your replacement.
Just,
No,
and just a soul knife just sitting there like whenever you're ready.
But, exactly. He's gonna have it all the spells are he's gonna cast like, he can do like 2 a day basically. And then basically as soon as you're ready for me to cut off a part of your body, stick it in this mushroom, we're good to go.
There you go. All right. So you head off to do that. What is everybody else doing before we close up here?
Talking with Cleary about mind shielding magic, and I mean, I don't know how long. I guess that might take a while, right? Maybe we should move on and go meet Zanya. Obviously pick that up next time, but
I mean, yeah, we're at 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so as you guys begin collecting yourselves and getting ready to head down to the Crystal Undercity to go speak with Zanya, we will go ahead and end our session there. So, yeah, thanks so much for hanging out, guys. This was definitely a very reserved session, I would say, but at least we made it through some important conversations. Yep. Hopefully we can get through many more. And if you guys need to do any personal conversations or need to do mini sessions or anything before next week, because you need to get through some more stuff and you want to get it done quickly, that's fine. Just let me know. Otherwise, thanks so much for hanging out. We love you all. And remember, we did it for the roar.
We did it for the roar.
I like you guys were waiting. You're like, ah!
and then we were all off anyway.
Yeah, it's my fault. All right.
Good night.
Good night.